Welcome back to Music Minute. Today I'm going to be continuing my series on helping parents as we transition back into school. A lot of times this is prime time for parents to either start lessons for their student or to just restart after they took a break for summer. So a lot of times when you're just starting lessons, you have to purchase your instrument, right? So I want to talk about how to purchase the right piano for your student. So let's say you have a young beginner, maybe they're 5, 6, 7, they've never had lessons before. So I would recommend for them starting with just a basic digital keyboard. You want to make sure though that it's full size, which is 88 keys, that it has weighted keys, that it has that nice heavy touch when you play. It'll feel like a real piano then, and train their fingers in the right ways, build up their finger strength. And I would say for the first couple years, you can just keep them on that to test their, commitment level basically. And a lot of times the younger students, they'll kick a piano if it's a real piano, or they just don't know how to care for their instrument because they're young. So a digital piano is a great option. You can get a really good one, good quality Yamaha, for instance, for maybe $500 to $1,000, or even less if it's a private seller. So that's the first great step. Now let's say now your student's been in lessons for a year or two and they're still super excited, still committed, still practicing the piano, and you want to invest and upgrade into an acoustic piano. So there are a few different types. The first one is a spinet piano. This is sort of like your basic upright, but it's a little shorter at the top, so the strings on the inside aren't as long. It doesn't have as big of a sound. Not a big deal, but it's just gonna be a little bit cheaper, maybe a little bit older. The upright is generally a really nice size as far as like volume and manageable for a home. And of course there's a baby grand and a grand piano, which you need to have basically a room dedicated to because they are very large, and there's a lot more maintenance involved in those and more costs of course. So you want to consider all of those things as you're shopping around. But then let's say you find a few great pianos. You've determined the size and type of piano that you want. You've researched different brands. You've determined your budget. Well, then the next step is going to be to go and check out some pianos, right? So when you're inspecting them, here are a few helpful things to look for. First of all, you want to check the action of the keys. So for instance, when you press a key, if you press a little harder, it should make a louder sound. If you press a little softer, it should be a little softer sound. So make sure you can adjust that. You want to go through and play all the keys on the keyboard, all 88 keys. Just make sure that you don't hear any weird clicking sounds, and that as you press a key that it comes back up, it doesn't stick, because that can just indicate some humidity issues in the past of this piano. You also want to check the foot pedals underneath, make sure that they're doing what they're created to do, dampening the piano and elongating the sounds, that kind of thing. And then you want to listen to the tone of the piano. A lot of pianos have a mellow, sweet tone to them. Just make sure that it's pleasant to your ears because you're going to be hearing it a lot. If it has a little bit of a twang, generally that could indicate just an age of a piano is a little bit older, but not an issue. It just depends. Every tone of every piano is slightly different, so you just want to find what you like. And the more pianos that you play and listen to, the more you get an ear for what you're looking for. And the last thing to consider really with the main inspection, the basic inspection, is to check and make sure it's in tune. So you want to play all the same note, maybe all the C notes across the whole piano, and just make sure that it sounds relatively in tune. If it doesn't, I would ask the seller, like, when was the last time it was tuned? If it wasn't within 6 to 12 months, it should be relatively in tune. If not, there might be some other internal issues you want to steer clear of. So I hope these things help you. I've actually put together a whole sheet, because I didn't want this to be a 10-minute long video, with all the other details of what questions should you ask the seller, even some more in-depth inspection to do with the structure of the piano, brand recommendations, the care and maintenance of your piano, what to do after you purchase it, all those details. So if you'd like a copy of that, just email me at bethballingermusic@gmail.com and I'd be happy to send that to you. But otherwise, this has been your Music Minute with Beth. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.